Kevin Deal from Upscale Audio, and today we're going to talk about speakers. And we're going to talk about Focal speakers. And I want you to know that this video is going to end up being ashcan because I'm going to do something that's much more in detail at a future date. But the thing is, I'm so blown away right now. I told Craig, I go, we've got to start talking about this stuff. I had brought in Focal because of a speaker called the Sopra 2. And the reason I had to bring in the Sopra 2, frankly, is because I was sick of losing sales over that speaker. I mean, it was just unbelievable. It is the talk of every show. It is absolutely scary good at $13,999. It is as good as anything I've ever sold in this store, up to $40,000. And that is no bullshit. You know why it's like that, though? Because Focal has manufacturing and engineering capabilities that would make these other companies head spin. They are the only brand that builds every part in-house, all the way down to not just the speaker drivers, but the cabinets, even in their less expensive stuff, all made in-house in France. Now here's something that's interesting I found out. This is a 6.5-inch driver. Well, looks like a 6.5-inch driver that's used in the 1038 BE, looks like ones that are used in the smaller bookshelf speaker, but they are all different. They make 228 different drivers because they don't make just a 6.5-inch driver and then they try to make it behave differently with trying to beat it into submission for different jobs in different speakers. Like it's a woofer here and a mid-woofer there and a different cabinet volume here. Because they make everything in-house, they're able to change the number of windings on the voice coil, the amount of magnet, the effective mass of the magnet. Everything can be changed and fine-tuned. What's the benefit of that? When you're able to do that, you don't have to use a crossover that is as oppressive to your amplifier. And then what's the benefit of that? You guys know I do a lot of tube audio, and even if it's not tube audio, amplifiers like to work with speakers that are easy to work with. And Focal products, if you look at them, their sensitivity is going to be 1 or 2 or even 3 dB higher than other speakers. Your amplifier is going to love it, and especially tube amps are going to love it. So let's talk about this speaker. At $69.95, this is almost like a mini Sopra 2. I hate to say that, and they'll probably want to kick my ass because I'm going to mess up sales of more expensive stuff, but let's think about why I'm saying it. It's got the beryllium tweeter, and beryllium is it. I'm just telling you, beryllium is it. Hardly anybody does it because it is so expensive and so difficult to work with. And Focal is the leader in that. They were the first to actually master it, and I'm going to be getting some of these domes in here because I have one in my hand. It is unbelievable. I had this dome in my hand, and they said, throw it up in the air. And I threw it up in the air, and it was like a feather. Go like this down to the ground. So I'm going to be going to the factory in France. I'm going to find a way to steal some of those things so I can make a video about it. So why is that important? Because when you have less mass, you can start and stop the speaker so much faster. The other benefit is they have a different type of surround than other manufacturers do. So they're actually able to cross over this tweeter at a little bit lower frequency than other manufacturers do. And that's very, very helpful in mating it to the mid-range driver so it doesn't sound like it's two different speakers. It's critical. I mean, that's why this speaker doesn't sound like it's coming out of a box. Let's talk about the mid-range and bass drivers. This uses their special sandwich driver technology. And I've had this cone in my hand too. This is way beyond Kevlar. This is way beyond what other companies are doing. This driver absolutely does not break up. It does not have coloration, even when you turn it up. And in fact, I gotta talk about that. I hooked this up to a 36 watt Prima tube amp. And I almost got emotional. The bass response was just fabulous. This mid-range driver, I forgot to talk about this. This mid-range driver, as compared to some speakers, like this is a very nice speaker here, Sonos Faber Olympica. This is $10,000. This is $69.99. Mid-range driver, a little bit larger around, less diffraction, less cupped hand effect. The mid-range, specifically the deeper mid-range, has more body to it. If you like female vocals, if you like Johnny Cash, if you like Stevie Ray Vaughan, Roger Waters, you want to have a speaker that doesn't have a chesty, constricted mid-range. And this speaker absolutely does not. One of the best mid-range drivers I've ever heard. The bass response, I'm just telling you, this is some of the best bass I've ever had in this store. It has 2 ports, one down on the bottom of the speaker, one in the back. You don't need a subwoofer. If you get a sub, great, but I'm telling you, do not feel compelled to. It weighs a ton. This is $3,000 more. This is $10,000. This is $69.95. They're about the same weight. And that's because this cabinet. Oh my God. It's available in this Degata walnut. We've also got it in black ash. I also made a special thing where I may have some piano black. Check with me on that. But look at this cabinet. This company can give you so much more for this reason. When another manufacturer has to source drivers from companies like Focal, that raises their cost of manufacturing. Because now you're paying someone else and they're making a profit on every speaker that you sell. That is not the case here. If I had a pair of these speakers and just a reasonably priced tube amp, just a little tube amp, I would be happy the rest of my days. $69.95. Come to Upscale Audio. I will talk to you about perfect system matching for you. This is a matter of talking things through. Don't buy because of a good well, speaking of good reviews, I'm going to end on this. This guy says it in the Absolute Sound magazine. Taking all these factors into account, the increase in bass control and the almost uncanny integration between drivers, the result is a loudspeaker which, with such immediate and compelling appeal, that lesser designs can simply sound broken in comparison. I could bang on about the effortless high frequencies from the Beryllium Tweeter, the open, lucid, and intimate mid-range, which I talked about, as well. I've already rithered on about the bass quality quite enough. There is also the astonishing, vivid, and stable imaging and sound staging. The fact that all the above simply contributes to making the Focal 1028BE the most musically communicative, engaging, and involving loudspeaker I've heard at this price. And that is no bullshit. I love this speaker. You will love this speaker. Call me, I'll help you. Thanks.